Well, I don't want this video to be clickbait and be a will it run video. It is a I can't get it running video, and I don't know why, but I ended up figuring out why. So here we have a 6-horse CS Lister that I got at an auction. I have a previous video of us unloading it and telling the history, but long story short, spent its life in Mexico running a generator, and now it's here in Kansas. So this is a whole new realm, different realm to me from hit and miss. So I'm trying to learn some of this. Obviously it's still a 4-stroke engine, same concept, but you'll see me struggle throughout the video. All right, moment of truth. Dang it. Get the old wooden hammer here. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. That's interesting. Look at that. Huh. I'm pretty sure that's your filter, and she is rough. It's like rope in there. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be using this fuel filter. I think we're gonna do the old bypass on that. There's supposed to be a fuel tank either right here or hanging off the side somewhere for this. So we're gonna do the old fuel filter delete on it. Yeah. Okay. But that's interesting. Now I don't know if that got plugged, if you would replace this whole thing. I know there's some Lister guys over in the UK that can answer these questions for me. So leave a comment, let me know, because this is pretty neat. Yeah, you can't see it, but it's literally a rope. Oh, it smells rough. All right, let's get the oil drained out of it. You know, I know this isn't the proper way to use this spittoon, but this is how we're using it today. So she might be a little overfilled or might have some water in her. I need to get this drain plug off, see what we're dealing with. Yum. Shift deal here. This plug was not happy about coming out. I know it's gonna come pouring out. Ooh, that's chunky. Very chunky. Yum. A little screen in there. You can't really see it. There it is. Try to get to where you guys can see it. There it is. There's a little screen, and that's for the oil pump. So, most importantly, we're gonna get that oil pump off, see if we can repack it, and then we will start up on the valves. Got the oil drained. It was pretty yummy. And if you see right here, let me get my light. There's a pan that's removable. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna hold this bolt on the back, because it goes outside to a nut, and also try to get it off. It's gonna be kind of difficult, but you can see where I wipe my finger. Look at that sludge. So we're gonna get that out of there, and there's a little dipper. You can see it right there on the rod. Kind of hard to see. I'll show you shortly, but we'll get this out so we can get all the crap out of here and then get the oil pump out. My ADHD's kicking in, and I want to do 100 different other things on this, but we'll start with the most important thing. Oh. Look at that. Try getting a socket on that. I wonder if it's shaved down so the rod doesn't hit it. I don't know, we'll find out. Look how thin it is. Ooh. That is yummy. Look at that. Whoop, whoop. Cancer. Big old piece of something. I guess that's what non-detergent oil does. I think, you know, all that dirt and grime just sticks to the side so it doesn't get in the bearings. I guess that'd be kind of important on specifically a engine like this, because there is no oil filter. I don't know. I mean, look at that. I should be wearing gloves. I mean, floppy floppy. So I really don't want to go loosen it up too much. God knows how long this didn't have a gasket on it either. All right, let's get you in there so you can see it. All right, there's our pan. There's the bottom of the crankcase. I just cleaned it out, so. But you can see, you know, on the side walls of the crankcase, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how non-detergent oil works. You know, it doesn't clean, I guess. So all that oil and dirt just kind of sticks to the side versus getting in the bearings. That would be my assumption anyways. And I don't think we're gonna get too crazy into cleaning this thing out. I'll get the big majority of it. See if you can see in there. All right, to this point, let's get this oil pump off. Get it off and see if we can get it repacked. There may be nothing wrong with it, but I did not see any oil pumping out of that, so I want to be sure. And yeah, let's get it going. She's not happy about coming off. I think that's it. I think it's loose. All right. There she is in all her glory. Let's see why she's not pumping. Now, before we just start ripping into this, let's actually see if it's not pumping. So I'll just sit this thing out here in the oil and just start going to town. All right, we got the oil pump apart. Pretty simple setup here. I was gonna take this fitting off, but it's been brazed heavily and we're not gonna mess with that. So basically you got your plunger here with a spring, and then there's some packing right here. We'll go through that here in a second. And a check ball down here. Now this will create a little suction, and this check ball ensures the oil does not run back. I mean, this is exactly, I mean, my Stover fuel pump's almost the exact same way. I'll show you. See it very well, but there's my Stover fuel pump. I mean, you could probably take this thing and do the same. You could probably pump oil with it. But the difference is this packing in here is actually adjustable on mine. Now, a few things I have found. If I can't find the seal, I don't know if you can see that. That's the packing. In between this metal, there's like gasket material of some sort, packing material, could be graphite. It actually feels like a seal. Now sometimes you can rejuvenate that slightly and get it to pump with some oil. So cleaning this up, this was just ingrained in dirt. You can clean that up, throw some oil on it, and it'll complete that seal, but it only lasts for so long. When my fuel pumps on my Stover do that, or any other engine, you just throw some oil on there and it'll continue pumping fuel for a while. So we'll get this figured out. This is just a quick breakdown. This is the suction, and it comes out here and comes up and feeds your mains, and then I think it feeds the cam gear up here as well, which also lubricates the bottom of the injection pump. So we'll mess with that and see what we figure out. We got the oil pump back together and cleaned it up. It's pretty dirty. Let's see if it'll pump oil. I think we're in the clear. See, it's just a plunger. Lost prime. We'll see if it'll prime back up. There it is. Now we got the oil pump done. We'll pop off this rocker box. You put this somewhere so it doesn't get lost. But these guys are C's, so there's no adjustment. I've tried adjusting them. Weather got to it. Now once we get this back together, before I even try firing it, I'm going to belt it up to that stover, which I have to fix, and make sure we're pumping oil. Let's get that off. It's probably, I don't know. Those are the buggers we need to unseize, and they've been rounded off. They're definitely going to need some heat. But let's investigate this. What do we got going on here? Is it just loose? It's unthreading. Smells good. Doesn't look pulled out. Smells like oil. There's no way oil gets up through here. No, I don't think so. Might have been a mistake pulling that out. There's threads. I'm pulling on it. They're a little wallered. All right, so next thing we're gonna heat these up, pull them out, and then we'll run a tap back down through here, because them buggers are buggered up. All right, I'd call that a win. Nothing broke. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Those really should be replaced, but the goal here is to get this running. We're not trying to restore this right now. I want to get this running. Do I want to keep it? That's the thing. I'm 50-50 on it. Like that engine I want to keep. Those two I want to keep. This, I don't know. Is it something I like? Let's get it running and find out. Alright, so my worry with this thing is this pipe has been exposed. It's been cut from the fuel filter. And so any and all dirt has just been kind of sitting and getting up in here. So we're going to take this off. We're not going to pull the injection pump. We're going to take this feed tube off and squirt something in there. Some PB blaster or something. Ooh. I'll get you in closer to see that, but that's not good either. Not good at all. Looking too happy. I really don't want to force that back in there, but maybe I can. Well, I don't know. All we can do is try. and see if it'll pump. So probably what I'm gonna do, clean that pipe out, put this back on, and throw some fuel in it, and just see if I can get something to squirt out of there. So I'll clean this off and get this pipe cleaned out, put it back on. I'll fill this with something and turn it over and see if we can get some of this to push a little fluid out. If so, then you might be in good shape. All right, I got this line cleaned up. Look at that. Before it was just shmoo and poo. Put it back together, and I don't have high hopes for this pump. But you know what? Some of this old stuff's pretty dang resilient, so we might be surprised in what we'll be able to do here. I can't. Oh, we're getting something out of here. This thing don't have much compression. There it is. Something's coming out of there. Not getting much action out of it. Just some nasty. Yeah, that's yucky. That's really yucky. I need to get this exhaust valve closed or open. So on the other side of the injection pump, I couldn't get to pump. So you guys see me sitting here turning it over. A little bit would come out. Put my finger over it and it would get a little bit of pressure. I don't know if we need to spin this over faster, which I'm assuming that's what we need to do. So before I take this off, try to go through this and see what the deal is, because there's a lot of mud crap inside this injection pump. I got clean diesel going in and dirt coming out. So what we're gonna do, we'll get anyways, back to this plug. It's on the other side of this injection pump. I pulled that out and, well, diesel started coming out. So I'm not sure what that is, what the purpose of that is. But I think our plan here is get everything back together, get the valve timing right, get the injector line hooked up, not hook it to the injector, get this belted up to my stover, and see if we can actually get fuel pumping to the injector. If not, then that's gonna be time to take this off, see if we can rebuild it or get a new one. All right, got the injection pump tore apart, put back together. Let's fire this old girl up and see if we can get this thing to do something. Set up. This is like the 30th time I've done this. So all right, Stover, time to go back to work. Let's open you up, give you a few pumps. Full choke because the head's cracked and sucks in air. All right. You'll lean it out. Weird thing is you lean it out when it's under load. Twist the belt. I don't think that's enough. Really don't know. don't want to see it until there's fuel coming out of there. Warm. Pumping oil. Not as much on this side. We're getting some. Pretty cool setup. Huh. Yeah. I think she's gonna need an injection pump. Now we're working the stover to lean her out. That's it, shutting her down. Well, I will have to admit defeat on this one. I think we need a new injection pump. It's pumping more after I took it apart and cleaned it. But who knows if I actually put it back together right. And here's my homemade setup to adjust the valves, which they're loose, but yeah, that's where we stand, and I guess I will order a cheap eBay one, get it put in, and see what happens. I think we're at a standstill until then. Yeah, so stover put in some good work. It's actually got more compression since I worked it. Listen, don't follow everything I do because it's probably not right. So I should have done my research before I just started ripping into the injection pump, but I don't know. So we'll leave it at that. Well, in the midst of making this video and almost ordering the injection pump for the lister here, I had a guy contact me from Texas. He's originally from South Africa, and he wanted to buy this engine, and he was very adamant about buying this engine. And I asked him why. You know, he said that there's a lot of listers, but a lot of remakes that are made in India and whatnot. And anyways, long story short, he told me when he grew up in South Africa, his dad had a 6-horse Lister diesel that ran their water pump or their water well. And he said he would really like to have one that's in kind of original condition. And I kind of didn't want to sell it, but I got to really thinking about it. You know, he really wants it because of the memory that it has, and this engine just clicked for him, I guess. So I'm going to sell it to him. I think it'll make him happy, and he'll get it running. I know he will. He actually owns a diesel shop in Texas, where he rebuilds Power Strokes and Cummins. So this will be a good engine for him. I don't want to see it go because I know I will not be able to get another one like it. But I know how that guy feels when you just see that engine and man, you got to have it. And that's how I felt about my Detroit Engine Works engine over here, which will be the next project. So sorry. It's not gonna run. It did win the war, but the guy buying it, he knows all the issues with it, and I guarantee you he'll enjoy it, and I guarantee you he'll have it running quick. So hopefully he'll send me a video of it and I can post it. So once again, appreciate you guys watching. We'll get into some more of these engines over here. I got a Farmall C that needs worked on. I got a McCormick Deering that we're rebuilding 1.5. Pretty cool Briggs & Stratton with a mag on it. And we also have some videos coming up of a huge horde of magnetos that I found. We're gonna do a Willet Spark video. and I'll show you how to test for spark on these. So, yep, that's it.